No, you're the guy who's like, but the food no set, blah 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 blah.
No. He'll say that in his mind, but then whenever it's his mind.
Because I want to be well liked.
Yeah.
So I don't want to like point it out to be exactly. But according to my memory, the terms and conditions didn't say so.
TNC.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Happy Hour. Today, as you very well should recognize, Jose has returned to for the fourth episode in a row.
That's the fourth one. Yes.
Yeah, in a row.
It's an honor.
You might as well join the team, you know. Yeah. And we also have a new guest today who'll be joining us, Tina.
So hi everyone, I'm Tina. So I'm gonna disclose my age here. So I'm 32 right now. So in 10 years time, I'm totally gonna regret doing this. Of course, I'm a millennial, and then today we're gonna talk about our signs. So full disclosure, I'm a Taurus. But later on, I'll talk about how I feel more like a Gemini.
Yes. So, well, first, like how we did last time, we're gonna open up with a astrology trivia pop quiz, and of course the questions will be very different from last time. So,
Do we get a
Oh,
prize?
man.
Do we get a prize?
the satisfaction of winning is the prize.
Oh,
Okay, right. So, first question. Last time we covered a bit on the different planetary signs, right? So like moon sign, rising sign. So what aspect of your personality does your Venus sign represent?
Choices?
Yeah.
No, but you know, right?
But I
Okay.
just want to hear the choices too.
Okay, A, how you express love and affection, or B, how you communicate in general?
A.
Yeah.
Hey. Well done.
Well
Ding, ding,
done,
ding, ding,
guys. Okay, then number 2. What animal represents Taurus? A, bull, B, ox, or C, horse?
I feel like I'm gonna get this one wrong, and it's embarrassing.
Because it's your own sign.
What do you feel more like?
What's your spirit animal?
My spirit animal.
Phoenix. It's like none of the above.
Well, that was very good.
No.
I will go with bull because I love bull markets.
Bull market?
Okay, yes.
Yeah,
Gotta go with that one.
Yes, it's bull.
There we
Okay. Okay, right, next. 3. Which of the 4 elements does Taurus belong to? Fire, earth, air, or water? I feel like you're just gonna get everything right. Maybe you should. Yes,
Yeah.
earth. Damn, it's too easy. I made this too easy. Right, so last 2 questions. Number 4. Which sign is more likely to enjoy intellectual conversations? A, Pisces, B, Sagittarius, or C, Gemini?
Gemini?
Yeah.
I thought it's Virgo, but it's not in the
It's
It's
choice.
not the choice.
Because I remember last
It's
time.
not
Trying to think out of the box. Being exceptional.
Taking holes in the quiz.
I know.
Challenging the quiz
I
master.
know.
I was gonna shout out Virgo.
Okay, right. Now, last question. Which sign is more likely to be the more emotional one? A, Cancer, B, Leo, or C, Virgo?
So,
Is Leo more like dominance? Is it?
but emotional
No.
isn't like, you know.
Like, okay, which element
Uh-huh.
is known to be about emotions?
Fire.
Water.
Is it
Water?
Water.
Water.
Yeah,
So,
water.
so which sign is water? Like Cancer, Leo, or Virgo?
Oh, that's difficult.
Is Virgo water? I don't remember.
Yeah. Okay. So it's Cancer.
Oh,
Okay.
no. We don't remember much from last time. Oh my
It
god.
gets harder. See?
Yeah. Very
Yes.
challenging.
Yeah. So
We
Cancer
have to
is.
give the lame face and not get everything right.
Oh my god. Okay.
Good job putting together the quiz.
Yeah, I found it very challenging.
You can key a crown on her.
Oh, yes.
So
And
what's the answer again? Cancer.
Cancer, yeah.
Okay.
So cancers are a water sign, and I
Mm.
think it's cardinal. Yes, it's cardinal. Cardinal water. So like very active water, like a waterfall.
Okay. Oh, water gun.
Very much. Yeah. Right. And they actually tend to be, well, fun short fact, but they tend to be stereotyped as like the mother of the friend group. So very nurturing, very like, oh guys, I'll arrange everything, don't worry, or like,
Love taking care of people.
yeah. Yeah. So Tina, if you could elaborate on the results you got for your astrology reading.
Yeah, so my main sign is Taurus, which normally people think of Taurus as being quite materialistic, right? So I mean, you guys know me, kind of know me well.
Yeah.
So, am I materialistic, really?
Well, like you see the inherent value in objects.
So that's a nice way of saying I am materialistic. Thank you.
Yeah. No,
No,
but
I
like,
think,
yeah.
That's true. I mean, I do enjoy the good things in life, but I wouldn't say like, I'm like pushing it way too much, right? Or I'm like buying things that I couldn't afford to, or spending the unnecessary money. The other thing is I'm not a foodie.
Oh
Not
yeah,
at all.
because Taurus usually
It's
like
like a
hashtag
foodie, right?
hashtag foodie, like foodstagram, food porn,
like
things like that.
so no, I'm not very picky about what I eat. It's just whatever you serve me, I'll eat it. So to me, eating it's just I eat to live, but I don't live to eat.
Okay, so it's a survival thing.
It's a survival
Yeah.
thing. So in that sense, I'm not very like Taurus, but I could be quite stubborn. In fact, don't ever get into a fight with me because I will like drown you into like arguments.
Just let her win, guys. Just let her win.
Please don't do that. No, and normally I'm quite logical when I get into a fight, right? I would have like a thesis. So, let's say the fight is about, whether, what to eat for the next meal. And then I'll be like, okay, there's like three main things. It's like, first of all, in terms of time, I don't think we could do it. This is a time management thing in terms of cost, blah, blah, blah. So I get very logical in arguments.
Paragraph 1, paragraph 2, paragraph 3, conclusion. Verdict.
So in that sense, I'm quite stubborn, I think. But I do feel I'm a bit more like Gemini, which is my rising moon sign, which is my moon sign. Because I get quite emotional sometimes as well, and could be quite creative, love intellectual conversations. But at the same time, I do have mood swings, I have to say. But I think that's just part of being a woman.
A woman? I thought you were gonna say Gemini. I was like,
No,
wow.
just a woman. And in general, we have days where we're like in pain. So I'm just like not that nice on those days.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, and you're not sure your rising sign because you don't know your
I don't
birth
know my
time, right?
birth
Yeah.
time.
So yeah, because birth time is what you need to determine your rising sign.
In fact, I tried to check with my mom on my birth times quite a few times, and each time she gave me a different
Oh no.
It was like 5 a.m. and then it became 5 p.m. and then it became, oh no, I'm sure it's like around noon time. So I was just
wow.
I doubt the accuracy of it. So
Okay.
unfortunately.
Okay, yeah. Because we were just talking about how rising signs are also quite important because it's sort of how you like to present yourself. And or other people's first impression of you. Yeah. So like your role model.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Too bad I'm not gonna find out about my rising sign. It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. It's
Could you have guessed?
Well,
Yes.
yes, actually.
Oh yeah, let's guess.
Yeah.
Rising first impression. I feel like it's also an earth sign.
So what
What
are the
other-
characteristics of like
Earth signs.
signs.
Oh, so very realistic, grounded, prefer stability
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So I think when I
Yeah,
first met
that's
you, you gave me that impression.
Yeah,
So
that's
like,
true.
I think
That's like me actually.
yeah.
I'm actually super practical.
Yeah.
It's all
yeah.
about, you know, how we execute things.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
wait, what are the earth signs again? So Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. I definitely don't think you're a Capricorn because yeah, actually my aunt is a Capricorn, which is which is very her, I feel, because Capricorns are usually like prefer stability but also very strict, stringent.
Strict on themselves or everything?
Like in general, everything. Yeah. So my aunt, she's a piano teacher.
Oh, okay, I see.
So she can be very strict. She's the reason why I started, but also
Was she your piano teacher?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
She's the reason why I started, and also like a third of the reason why I quit.
So they're perfectionists, basically.
Oh yes. Perfectionists. Well,
not to the extent of a Virgo, probably. Right?
Yeah, not to the extent. I think just not perfection in an objective sense, but they have their own sense of what is perfect. So
principled.
Yeah, principle. Very like stick to principles. And they don't show emotion very much, but they can be emotional. It's just that they don't show it as much as other people.
Okay.
Yeah.
So probably not Capricorn for Tina.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe a Taurus actually.
Yeah, it could be a Taurus as well.
Yeah, it could be a Taurus as well. Very interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know because my whole family's fire sign.
Oh yeah, you mentioned.
Yeah, I mentioned last time.
Right?
So it's like growing up, I'm only exposed to the traits of a fire sign. What a fire sign is like.
What's that like?
Very dominant.
A lot of very passionate family.
Very passionate. No, but we tend to be like quite mellow as well. We don't express our passion in a very fiery kind of way.
Like not a flamethrower.
So
It's not very
like
hidden, not very
a little bit like that. So I'm not sure. So that's why I'm not sure like what other signs that I'm compatible with. Yeah. What about you?
What about me? Well, I think like I'm surrounded by a very diverse range. Like I'm either close friends with or am family with pretty much every sign in the zodiac.
Oh.
Yeah. So my mother is a Gemini. One of my aunts, as I mentioned, a Capricorn. My other aunt, Sagittarius. My grandma, an Aries. And then my friends. I have a lot of Leo friends actually. So like, I think they're also quite diverse, even though they're all Leo. Like one of my close friends, she does theater. She's involved in theater, drama. So on surface level, you think, oh, that makes sense for a Leo. But she's actually very introverted.
Oh.
Yeah, she's actually quite introverted, which comes from, I think she mentioned to me her moon sign was Cancer.
Okay.
So like, the water sign is that sort of balances out the Leo in her, like, because it's softer. So yeah, and then like my other Leo friend, I don't know what her moon and rising are, because she's not as into this as my other friends, but she's very, like, spectrum of extrovert and introvert, she's super near to the extreme introvert.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like she prefers texting over calls. Like, that's how introverted she is. So yeah, it's quite interesting.
But also a Leo.
Yeah, but also Leo, yeah.
Okay.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I prefer testing over the call as well. Does that mean introvert and extrovert? I never thought about it that way.
Well, like...
Sorry, just...
No, actually it's a good point, because we actually text a lot more than we call.
Yeah.
Because actually texting is good for us. It's because I could refer it back, right?
Yeah,
For example, if I had like something important to tell you, so if I text it to you and then later on, I can refer back to the conversation. I've already sent that, right? Or I've already.
Practicality.
Virgo Taurus.
Virgo Taurus, yeah.
Purpose rising.
Oh my god.
No, it is.
Yes, right?
It really frustrates me when people want to call and say, we
Yeah.
got to call and sort it out. And
Yeah.
I'm like, but then when we call and like, I remember what you say, but you might not.
Yeah.
And then and then people don't fulfill what they promise,
Yeah.
which I hate. Like, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or if they go off tangent, like somewhere else, you know.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And the other thing is now, what's worse is the in between where they give you a voice message on like WhatsApp.
Oh.
Because that means you got to listen to it for 2 minutes.
God, I hate
Trying to
voice
find
notes.
the chat history, right? You
Yeah,
can never
exactly.
find the right one. Yeah.
In fact, I actually just had a fight with my mom last night about voice notes, and I was like, well, you cannot record voice note to me anymore, because each of her voice note is like 3 minutes, and she has like very
Stop it.
unnecessary
Yeah.
details in like her whatever she's like telling me, right?
Mhm.
And she's asking me to do one thing and help her with like one simple thing with her accountant. And then she like brings in like 10 different characters, right, into her voice note, and she's like, this guy and that guy, you know, he's being ridiculous. And then like there's like, but all she needs is for me to go to our insurance agent to get a receipt so I can forward it to my accountant, right? Like it's that easy. But she recorded a 3-minute voice
What
note.
star sign is your mom?
Gemini actually.
Gemini.
Yeah.
Trying to sound intellectual.
I know.
Like cramming all the characters.
Yeah,
Socialization.
it has to do with the Mercury sign, I think, because it's the
Yeah.
way she communicated with you that is confusing.
Oh,
But you're really
Oh,
on this
you know your
planet
stuff.
thing, like-
Yeah, you know your stuff.
Planet thing,
It's like you
Oh.
were born in astrology.
No, just pick up something here and there.
There we go.
Very quick learner.
I'm really getting this. I think this element and the modes, the fixed and
Yeah,
the
cardinal.
other ones. Yeah, I actually think these two things are pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Like it summarizes it pretty well.
Yeah.
I don't know about the planets because I don't know it.
Yeah, that's quite advanced. I think
Yeah,
it's
so-
There's a
oh,
Pluto.
yeah.
Pluto. I don't think.
There was a Pluto in my results, right? So I was like,
Oh
what
yeah.
does
yeah,
a
yeah.
Pluto mean?
Yeah, there's a lot of dwarf planets involved, and if we want to get really technical, but I don't think we'll expand on that.
Let me see
But,
what Pluto governs.
Scorpio.
I don't actually know what Pluto is. Let's
Represents
do a quick
transformations, mutations, and elimination.
mutation.
Mutation.
What you'll mutate into.
I don't know. Well,
Did it
my
say?
Pluto is in Scorpio,
Me too.
Scorpio. Ah.
and it says fear of betrayal. Sensual and passionate.
It's quite intense.
But yeah, I don't know how it actually
very
represents.
specific.
I don't know how it represents transformations, mutations, and elimination. I'm not sure.
Yeah. No, that I think is becoming an alien language.
Mm.
Like literally
Yeah.
alien language.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Is Pluto part of the solar system or is not anymore? Right?
I think
Not
it's
anymore,
not anymore.
yeah.
It's been kicked out.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
it's so sad because like when I was a child, like during bedtime, I remember I had those like you can stick the
Oh, the
glow in the
planets.
dark,
Yeah.
glow in the dark, stick on the wall
Yeah.
planets, so you learn the order of the
Right.
planets as well.
Yeah.
I used to have that. Pluto was part of it, but
Mhm.
Yeah. I used to think like, oh, poor guys, like right at the end, right? And then it's
Yeah.
cold. It's like really
yeah, it's
cold.
cold. Yeah,
cold.
it's
Because
cold.
you
Away
take
from
up the
the sun.
temperatures and stuff. It's like minus, like.
Yeah.
Poor Pluto.
Yeah. Well, but today we are like mainly going to be talking about compatibility, right?
Yeah. So
Um,
I was hoping since all of you except me are married, you could share some insight.
Okay.
mhm.
Very
Literally,
reluctant.
I just forgot about my husband's sign. It was October 13th again.
Oh.
You remember? You remember
Oh,
my
you forgot
birthday,
his
right?
birthday.
Yeah.
I thought you meant just forgot
It
it.
was October 13th
Don't even
again.
remember the birthday.
Stars.
Actually, he doesn't remember my birthday. Libra.
It was just like
Sorry, Google.
Oh, nuggets. Oh, nuggets this episode.
So Google suggested we check out who should a Libra marry.
Gemini,
Gemini,
Leo,
Leo,
Sagittarius, Aquarius. Well, I mean,
I'm
we're
a partially Gemini, right?
Gemini, right? Yeah, and Moon. So it.
In fact, my Venus is a
Yes.
Gemini. I'm learning. Yes.
Yeah. Love and affection.
Love and affection is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So it does make. Yeah,
Yeah.
there is a compatibility.
But what are the characteristics of a Libra?
Oh, so because you know the like the what is it called? The scale represents Libra, right? So they can see like they see everything in gray area. They acknowledge that everything is in the gray area. So they like, let's say you're arguing with them, they're more likely to be able to understand from your perspective, like from different perspectives. But at the same time, like on the other side of the coin, that makes them quite indecisive and unwilling to take sides. If that makes sense.
I am pretty sure he lied to me about his birthday, because that's this is completely not my husband.
Betrayal. The Pluto in Scorpio.
No, because he's definitely a guy who has very strong opinion.
What he wants.
Okay. Know what he wants. Very strong opinion, and quite ambitious and everything else. So it's not. I don't think he sees the world in gray area. No.
Okay.
What about the 30 minutes to choose the menu thing?
30 minutes to.
That's
Oh
the
no.
indecisiveness, right?
So to him, like, so any decision he makes, he wants to maximize the benefits from that decision, even from a meal he eats, right?
So very careful with his choices.
Yes.
Okay.
So he would think, well, I only get to eat, like, for example, like 2 meals a day, right? He doesn't eat breakfast, so lunch and dinner, right? So I got to think about my lunch and dinner combination. If I eat something spicy for lunch, then I'm gonna, let's say, eat something less spicy for dinner. Or if I'm gonna eat like Italian food for lunch, then I'm gonna get Chinese food for dinner. So he needs to like plan in advance and think about how much enjoyment he derives for each thing.
Okay.
So he makes careful decisions.
Very careful decisions.
But he picked you.
Yeah.
I know.
Fireworks.
Okay. This is where the fireworks comes
So
in.
that's a good thing, right?
Yeah.
It was probably a very like just
It's like
How did that go?
spilling all the tea right now.
okay. Well, I do think my husband loves me and he loves me very much. But the reason, the catalyst of us getting married is because we wanted to. There was like some investment decision we wanted to do, and it's just more efficient if we're married without passport and nationality.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
see.
So he's quite a practical person as well, which I do
Okay.
like.
That's the
That's
concept.
interesting.
That's the
part.
I never thought, because you told me that a lot of times, and I
Yeah.
always thought, like, I wouldn't think about it like that. So now I think it's the practical.
It's a practical.
And you bring it into the relationship as well.
Yeah.
So I think it's different because you could be practical individually, but then in the relationship, I
Oh, that's
don't-
really
I don't
hard.
usually, because I'm quite practical,
Yeah.
like because we're both
Yeah.
I think, but
Yeah.
when it comes to the relationship, I don't. I'm very not practical. I'm
Yeah.
much more emotional.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't.
Yeah.
What's your Venus sign then? It's probably
This planet thing, I don't know the planets.
What was your Venus sign?
How do I know?
Pisces.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right. So.
I project myself as dreamy,
Dreamy.
soft-hearted partners.
Yeah. So that's how
Everything.
you express love and affection. Right?
Yeah.
Dreamy?
Dreamy.
Oh, so it's like a
Pisces.
like a utopia. Utopia.
Yeah.
You appear to be
Yeah.
quite soft-hearted as
Yeah.
well.
In emotions and
Yeah.
values.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. But that's very different from my sun sign.
Yeah, Aries, right?
Yeah.
Because they're because Aries is the first sign in the zodiac, and then Pisces is at the very last.
Oh.
So it's like, yeah.
So.
Oh, it's the ordering thing.
Yeah. So in a love relationship or in any relationships where I have to express emotions, I can probably like show more empathy, maybe if
Yeah.
my Pisces is Pisces, right? My Venus sign is.
Yeah.
Whereas like everything else is like I'm a baby, right?
Because Aries is the first youngest sign. Well, it's like youthful. Youthful. Sorry, I chose the wrong word last time.
Yeah, he remembers.
Just a baby.
Last time I had trouble choosing words. Sorry. I called him a baby.
Baby.
No, youthful.
Youthful, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, my moon sign is in Aries, so like, yeah, I also know how to appreciate that.
Yeah.
So wait, have you found your Venus?
No, I
sign?
didn't know. I need to take the test again. from last week.
Yeah, I think my Venus is also Gemini as well.
Okay, so you love in a way that it's intellectual? Wait.
Yeah, quite
It's
intellectual.
Kind of like
Yeah.
try to broaden the horizons with your partner.
That is true. That is very
yeah.
true. I think, yeah, actually, the thing I love about my husband the most is I think he represents a different perspective in my life, and it's quite
like expanding your
complimentary. Yeah.
your
Yeah.
world.
It's just so different from who I am.
Yeah. Yeah, because there are some like some couples I don't personally know, but I heard like maybe friends of friends. Usually they're like of the same kind,
Yeah.
and they're super similar, and like that's why they get along so well.
Mm-hmm.
But like I don't know, I feel like there's a bit of controversy over that, because I feel like most people think, oh, you know, opposites attract as long as your morals are similar. But like some people say if you're with people who are too similar to you, that's a bad thing, because kind of the weakness, like you have the same weaknesses and strengths, so you can't really cover up your each other's mistakes.
So you guys would be like probably very peacefully going along the same path,
Yeah.
but then you would not broaden the horizon.
Yeah.
So different people, I think, look for different things in relationships. Some people, you know, look for that like stability, right? You know, having a partner that's very similar to you. You guys can, you know, chill out together, hang out, and have the same interests. I think having same interests is important. The other sort of perspective is, you know, you have a partner that's is on the opposite side, you know, and then you guys learn from each other, and then from there, you know, you get personal growth. And I guess together you make a better person, right? Because your strength could be his weakness. But of course, I think that kind of a relationship, it's harder to pursue, because during that, I guess, growth stage, you just have like all these things where you need to compromise, right? And you need to go and understand where the other person is coming from. It kind of depends on what you want. And also depends on your age as well, I think. Yeah, I think it tends to, if you're a little bit older, then maybe what you want is like less friction, right?
Yeah.
When you're younger, maybe you're like, you know,
passion.
Yeah, it's about passion, exploring and things.
Because I think when you're younger, you're more curious about kind of exploring
like different personalities,
different experiences. Like just like, you know, she would suggest doing something that I probably would never have thought of doing. So I think that was this kind of starting point, and it kind of always has been. And then, but then, as you say, I think in the middle part, like my view is a bit different. Is that in the middle part, then that becomes the most kind of where the friction happens, because after a while, you know, novelty wears off, and the difference is like, especially when you're talking about things that are like more long term, like about settling down, family, kids. When you have so many, when you have these two
responsibilities,
views, it's really about like someone has to give way. I find it very hard to believe personally that there's going to be two people that are just totally compatible without like any, or without a large degree of kind of adapting and stuff. So that becomes the adapting part, and so I think there's a transition period from that for everyone. And then I think ultimately you decide if you're going to decide to, you know, keep going, then you just have to find a common ground that you're comfortable with. So the latter part of your life, you kind of become your two different people, but you're okay with it. That's the way I kind of see the three phases. So, which is interesting. And then I was reading the compatibility report post that was about the water and is it the water and earth, or is it the fixed and the fixed and mutable?
So your wife's Scorpio, fixed water, and your Virgo is mutable earth.
Yes,
right?
yes. So it's kind of like a little bit of a. I think the fixed mutable is accurate in the sense that she's quite strong-minded. So decision making, like it tends to. I think our starting point is different, because she might think, I'm like, maybe we should discuss this, and I thought it was like a decision together, and then I think she also thinks that, but it's at a different level. It's more like
it's like the starting point's different.
Yeah, the starting
right?
point is different. So I think sometimes when we argue, I'm like, I was like, I've already made this, you know, all this compromise, and she probably doesn't see it. She thinks that compromise is like the starting point. So it becomes more about, like, you know what, I actually want like this, but I'm already starting here when I'm talking to you, and she's always at the same spot. So she doesn't understand that there's a moving spot. She's just like, this is the spot that we start. Usually this is the spot that we end. So
I guess it's important for you to explain your starting point.
Yeah, it becomes
so she will
more,
understand more.
Or if I'm gonna change it, or be mutable or be adaptable, I just gotta just keep going. Like I cannot suddenly go halfway and be like, actually I don't want to, you know, regret doing it. Like so now when I do something, I might have like, look, this is where I'm starting, this is it, or like, yeah, just do it this way because we know that's where we're gonna end up anyway. So it kind of like reduces a lot of friction for a lot of things. There's still some things that, you know, as Tina's like you get very stubborn about. Like I obviously have that sort of in me as well. So I know that really important things I just say right from the start. Like these are the things that are like we can't use this method. So it's about kind of breaking that down. So I like the way it's analyzed because there are different parts, and then there's the water earth thing. And the water thing for her is also very accurate. It's like she doesn't really show too much emotions, but then she has.
Yeah, she has.
You know, she has it, but it's not
yeah.
always like so visible. But when it kind of get bottled up to a point, it does come. So I think that's very accurate, and you know, that's also something that we learn how to kind of deal with together as well. So no, I think that is very accurate in terms of the compatibility. It's good to know because I think any like for me, I think after looking at this, I think any two signs are compatible. You just got to understand it and make it work.
Yeah, like different ways
of
that you're compatible. Yeah.
So so that would be, so we are very different in short to answer your question, and I think that's what made it work for me. But you're like, are you more similar with your?
Well, according to the report, because my wife is also a fire sign, Leo.
You like your fire.
Fire. Look, flame of fire.
Well,
your kid.
It was not intentional. It was not intentional, but it just so happened that we're both fire signs. I remember when we were dating. I thought we were quite different.
Okay.
Yeah. So
could be the rising sign.
It could be.
Could be the rising sign.
Yeah. So like I thought, similar to what Tina says, like, oh, we're quite different, opposite attract, complement each other, etc. But then according to the report, it's like we are both very passionate and dynamic. It's like when we come together in a love affair, the sparks will fly. Yeah.
Fireworks again.
I know, it's like
fireworks is nice.
I know, fireworks. Yeah, I think we both wanted to be the dominant one. Yeah. So we just needed to learn like on which aspects should I have to say, or which aspect she would have to say, and then we just take turns like
take turns wearing
making the
pants.
decisions. Yes, yeah. Because but then the good thing is it says any differences we have can be overcome. Relationship is a lot of hard work.
It's a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the rewards are good. So it's worth it. I feel like I need to end this on a positive note. But there's still
everything is quite positive, right?
It's like hopeful.
You can work it out as long as you know about the star signs.
So
you're okay.
I think regardless of signs, I think just two people being together, coming from different families, different backgrounds, having different experiences in life. It just needs time for you to understand the other person.
Right.
And there's other people involved as well because there's families. So you're actually dealing with multiple star signs.
Like your partner's family.
Everyone at Navi told me everyone has like 12 star signs, so that's going to be really complicated.
No, but I guess it's a good thing for you to be exposed to dealing with different star signs.
When you're friends, right?
Yeah.
Then you kind of know like and experience what's the chemistry like between different signs already.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about
this. People that asked like, did you feel comfortable like, or like, is there any sign that you feel more comfortable like dealing with?
Actually, funny thing is that back in university, I met this friend. She's a Taurus, which is actually like I looked it up afterwards. Like, we're quite like just overall compatibility. It doesn't have to be romantic. That Pisces and Taurus is one of the most compatible signs. And like I didn't realize that when I first met her, but then we clicked pretty quickly, and then we eventually like rented a flat together in second year, and then we had this like at some point, like I think the first few months of living together, we sort of started to develop this inside joke that she's the husband and I'm the wife, because she's like she always told me, oh Elaine, like I hope I'm not a bad flatmate because I'm very not domestic. Like I'm very bad at cook. I don't know how to cook. Like chores and stuff I can do, but I probably won't be good at doing. So I feel like everyone says that to be humble, right? But then
no, I also that's exactly me as well. Sorry.
Really?
I'm really bad at housework. Taurus. Really bad at housework.
Yeah, but it's because like we share our ingredients as well. So I cook just because you
didn't cook for her.
Like I cooked for her as well because it's just easier.
Yeah,
because when you buy ingredients in bulk, just cook it all in one go, right? Yeah, so like we shared the cost as well with that. But the thing is, like, it ended up me fulfilling a lot of wifely, stereotypically wifely duties. So like I'd go to grocery store, buy ingredients, come back home, and then like cook. And she, because of the nature of our major, so I did anthropology and she did urban planning. And the thing is with urban planning, there's a lot of team, like group work. So they have a lot of like meetings. So almost every day is
so
the routine.
At work.
Yeah, it's like at work. Like, so I'll be at home, like after just I'll be typing up an essay, and then it'll be almost dinner time, and then I'll text my flatmate being like, oh hey, so when are you coming back home? When should I start cooking? And then she said, oh, like I don't know how long the meeting's gonna run over, so like. If you could just you can eat first. I was like, okay, but like, because I'm cooking for two, right? So I might as well cook for you too, and then I'll just leave the leftovers on the table for you when you come back home. And she's like, okay, thank you. Also, yeah, she doesn't have a sense of how food is has a certain lifespan, like a shelf life. So
but
like,
you guys were you guys flatmates in the third year
as well, but with like two other friends.
Okay.
So we're very, and also it's quite funny. They also became like inside joke husband and wife. So it was like two married couples. Yeah. So it's funny. The wife of that like quote unquote couple, like she's a Cancer, so like very motherly, right?
Okay.
So like, and then like usually our schedules are also like the wives have the same class schedule, and then the husbands have another similar schedule. So it's usually me and my Cancer flatmate at home, and whenever it's just the two of us, she'd be like, Elaine, you should tell your husband to stop doing this. She uses too much toilet paper. Can you tell your husband that? So I was like, what? I've already been doing so much nagging. You do some nagging for once. It was really fun.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, it's quite interesting.
But you were okay in that quote unquote couple relationship to take care of your Taurus flatmate originally, right?
Yeah. Like because I also like I like caring for other people as well. But I mean Pisces
and Cancer are they the same element?
Yeah, water.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, I think like I just like, even if it's like I guess you could say laborious or tedious or like troublesome, I'm still willing to do it if it's a social activity. So like let's say my friend is about to go to like do some errands, like buy some groceries, I'll just like tag along because I just like the company, and then I'll help, you know, on the way.
So I guess for you, you're quite compatible with most of the signs because you're Pisces and you understand. Yeah, it's just but at the same time, like it's harder for Pisces to get a sense of like their own boundaries of like when. So like you pick up so much burden.
So like the other person might be like, you know, they're just behaving as they normally would, but then let's say I actually wasn't comfortable with that behavior, I would think of a lot of ways as like for an excuse for them to continue behaving that way. I'd probably be like, oh, you know, it's probably just a phase, or like, oh, you know, they're going through a rough time, like I'll just be patient with them. So yeah, and then that just causes a lot of emotions bottling up. Right. It's very natural for a water sign, unfortunately. So yeah.
Makes me want to get more water sign friends.
Oh, yay! And marketing.
Surround myself with like Cancer
Signs you cannot stand.
Cannot stand. Well, I think the signs that I usually clash a lot with are air signs. Because unless they have some sort of water sign in them, then they'll try to like be very logical. Like they rely a lot on pure logic and try to like not acknowledge emotions. So for me, I get quite emotional when I'm trying to get my point across. But if like the other person's just purely focused on logic and be like they're just emotions, just like control them. That pisses me quite a lot. That pisses me off quite a lot.
Okay. So yeah. It's not good.
So I think like those people, I mean, it won't get into a huge fight usually, but those people I tend to clash a lot with.
Is there a deadliest like combination of signs, like in terms of friendship or marriage?
Not that I know of. Because I feel like with the compatibility, again because right now we're just looking at the sun signs, right, our main signs. When in reality, you know, there's the Venus sign, how we show affection, and like moon rising. Like, so actually any combination is possible, but just knowing which sign goes with which better is sort of like having an easier level of difficulty and you know, engaging in a relationship. So it's kind of like a handicap thing. Like
would signs within the same element get along better?
Oh yeah, usually. Yeah, so I have also read somewhere that I usually get along well with, like, apart from Taurus, Cancer. Also, yeah.
The other wife.
The other wife, my wife friend.
Yeah.
So that is it for today. Hope you enjoyed. I feel like I've had 3 mentors, relationship mentors, come onto the show because I'm like the youngest and also the one with the least relationship experience. So yeah, hopefully you guys, the younger audience especially, have learned a lot about relationships in general, not just star sign compatibilities. And we do post a lot of astrology memes as well on our Instagram page, Waffles and Jams. So yeah, definitely check us out on there. And yeah, subscribe for good vibes, and see you again next week.
I was just gonna smile, but then I didn't, so I made a voice. I made a noise. Thank goodness it's installed because it's like now we can start talking. Is it on recording? Be careful, the camera's over there. I know. Is the camera rolling still?
I don't know.
As I found out, okay. Whoops.
I was like gonna make this episode like a theme of helping Elaine find the boyfriend.
Oh my god!
No, I just started thinking about it during the episode. It's like that's why I kept asking her. It's like, is there any sign that you can't stand?
That could be the next one, the relationship.
Oh dear, oh dear.